All right, everybody. So today we're making a pecan dessert. This one is actually a really good one. So for that, we just need the pecans and just a little bit, but well, actually this is a lot of sugar. What we're putting right now. Let's put some sugar in it. This one is like eyeballing the pecans how you want it. So on this case, I want to put a little bit more. I like a lot of the good stuff. So let's put it a little bit more. See? And now for this dessert, there's something, I'm following like a basic recipes, but I always like to follow what my grandma always does, and she has some secrets. So what's her secret? Actually adding spice to everything. So for pecans, I know she always puts some cinnamon. On this case, this one, I don't like this whole. Let's go for the big one. Let's risk it a little bit. And some cinnamon, sugar, and another secret of my grandma. What did she say? Every time you make it some dessert, you have to make everything that is sweet to go a little bit, into a different tone. So I know it sounds weird, but if you add a little bit of salt, not too much, guys. Look, this is actually the quantity I'm adding. A little bit of salt, it will enhance the flavors. And this is gonna have a little bit different. You're gonna have another game for what you're cooking. So this is gonna be good. This is gonna be for the top. And now let's go for the actual cake. So for the cake, what are we gonna need? We're gonna need all the ingredients, and for that we're gonna have a cup of flour. For that, we're gonna use these flours that you see right now. And I don't know if you guys know basic cooking 101, but every time you're doing dry ingredients, always use a cup like this one. Why? Because that way you can have everything measured really good. But when you're using the wet ingredients, you gotta use a measuring tool like this one. For example, in this case, I have a stick of melted butter already, and we're gonna be adding it in all the way into the flour. There you go. We're gonna be adding a little bit of baking powder. Why? Because the baking powder is what's gonna give you the fluff. It's gonna, actually, by the way, I'm gonna add the baking powder a little bit at the end. I'm gonna add first the sugar. Why I'm adding the baking powder at the end? This is actually another of my grandma's secrets. The baking powder is actually a mix of baking soda and some ingredients, and actually is gonna, create some bubbles at the moment that you're doing it. So if you put it all the way at the beginning, the bubbles are gonna start blending right away at the moment you're mixing it. But if you leave it all the way to the end, you're gonna have more fluff to the end. And something I want is the actual fluff. So let's start baking all of the ingredients. Now I'm missing just a little bit of the baking powder and the milk. And boom, boom, boom. Mix, mix, mix. I have a little bit of the ingredients. Now let's go with the milk. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna use a cup of milk for this one. I have it right here. This milk. And we're gonna be using a full cup. Bum, 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 bum. There you go, a full cup of milk. But in this case, we're gonna be adding it slowly. What do you mean slowly? A little bit at a time. So I add almost all of it first. Let's see how it goes. Making it a little bit messy. A mess here in the kitchen. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. We want a little bit more like pancake, consistency. So adding a little bit more. Actually, let me add all of it because I like the way it was doing it. Boom. All right, so now we go for the grandma's secret this time. So What was the grandma secret for the other one? Cinnamon. That was for the top. But now for the bake, we're gonna be using nutmeg. Why? Because we're gonna have a little bit of flavor of everything. Even in the batter, on the top. You want to, impress everybody on whatever you're making. Just like, hey, this was amazing. It have a different touch. And nutmeg always give you that nice taste and especially the smell. You want everybody to be, like, hey, this home smells really good. Somebody was cooking really good stuff. That's what you have to do. Now is the moment, because I already finished this. This is the moment I'm adding the baking powder all the way to the end. So a full tablespoon. And because I'm a little bit crazy, let me add like half of it because I want it like extra fluffy. Boom. Tablespoon of baking powder, and let's add boom on the mix. Boom. Now that we have everything, all of the ingredients together, let's make everything ready for the baking part. So let me put this one on the side. And now, really important, never forget this part. Every time you are gonna be making baking something, you don't want anything to stick into the baking, into the baking sheet, and the container. So what are we gonna be doing right now? So first, I'm gonna clean a little bit of the excess of what I was doing because I want it like really clean. It doesn't matter. It's going inside anyway, but this is what I like to do. I use a stick of butter and use it with the same paper so that way I'm not touching the butter. I'm gonna use it like a lipstick. But this time I'm just drawing on the baking sheet. Boom, 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 making sure that every single corner gets a little bit of that butter. Boom, 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 boom. And make sure that you're hitting every single corner with it. Oh, I don't want to get buttery fingers. Boom, 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 boom. Everything got covered in butter. Boom. We got that part covered and ready. So now this one is another one, a little bit thick. I'm adding a little bit of more, a little bit of flour. Not too much. This is an eyeballing. As you see, I just added a sprinkle, and this is what I'm gonna be doing now. Boom, boom, boom. Get the earthquake. Making sure that it's moving. Wow. I need a little bit of help with my hands. Boom. So what are we doing here? We're just making sure that this is not gonna stick the whole mix into the bottom, and you're gonna have it a really nice at the moment that you're ending. This is gonna be really nice to take it out. That's what everybody wants. And one more thing, I'm gonna add the butter to the baking sheet right now. Boom, look how it looks. Boom, so thick. So now what was the secret on this one? A little bit of nutmeg to add some extra flavor. We're gonna use this spoon because one thing I don't like when other people is doing, the cooking videos is like, hey, you left very much everything in the container. What happened? You're wasting all the food. You don't want it? I would want it. So this is what I like to do, making sure that everything goes in the container. Boom. And now the flavor part. We got the pecans with sugar and cinnamon. So now I'm just adding this one into the bowl, and this one, boom, 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 boom. It doesn't need to be perfect, guys, so don't worry about it. We're just gonna spread it later. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. Just a little bit of mixing, making sure that everything gets a little bit more homogeneous. Once that everything is covered, remember what I tell you about the little secrets? Let's enhance the flavor a little bit more. A little bit of touch of salt. This is just a sprinkle. And now we have it ready to go into the oven. Perfect. Okay. But before we put it into the oven, we're gonna be doing something really nice, and this one is actually for the top. We're gonna be using heavy whipping cream. And guess for what? You got it. We're gonna be actually using whipped cream all the way on the top. Get some whipped cream. I'm just eyeballing. I'm not using exact quantities, and the reason why is because I like to do it like that. There's no reason. You can actually do half cup this quantity of sugar, but I'm always know by hand what I'm doing, and then I get a handful of powdered sugar. Why powdered sugar? Because when you're whipping cream, the powdered sugar is really small, and it won't delay on the process. Now for this one, remember, always use the spices. We're using vanilla imitation flavor this time, but this one is for the whipping cream. We're adding a little bit. Boom. Now we got sugar, heavy whipping cream, and the vanilla flavor. Now what we have is whipping. All right, so this is the part that you need a lot of patience with. Because the whipping, can take 2 or 3 minutes depending how you whip him. But a little bit of secret is, hey, if you're whipping and this is not going up after you have like 5 minutes or even more, like 10 minutes, it's not growing nothing at all, it's because probably the whipping cream is a little bit hot. So on that case, which is not this one because I just took it out of the fridge, what you can do is just, put a bowl with water and ice underneath, and that's gonna make sure that the container is gonna be, the whipping cream is gonna be cold, and it's actually gonna be getting, all the air inside. Because what we're doing right now, it's just restructuring the heavy cream and putting air inside. Once you have all the air, that's when you get that mixture and you got that nice texture. And wow, this actually was really quick. It totally worth it, guys. So if you have the whipping cream, make sure that it's cold, so that way you're gonna have it this quick. Have it a little bit of taste. Perfect. It doesn't need more sugar. Vanilla is flavor. Oh my god, this is actually bomb. All right, so now we're just gonna put the whole bake in the oven and see you in a moment, guys. And we're back. This baby already came out of the oven, and now let's see how it looks. So for that, let's take a little piece. There you go. Oh, this piece coming nice, crumbly. Oh, all this is actually gonna be looking good. Now for decorating this, remember the whipped cream, just adding a little bit on top. Well, don't use your fingers, that was me. You're not supposed to do it, but and a little bit of coconut flakes just for add a little bit decoration and that nutty flavor. Just crunch it a little bit up. It doesn't matter if I'm making a mess in the kitchen. Hey, this is how it's looking. Now let's give it a try. Whipped cream, coconut, pecans, a lot of spices. I don't know how to eat this because it's so many things together. This is a mess. Let's give it a try. Oh my god, this is actually really good. Guys, gotta try. Go ahead and try. Really good. Thank you. Thank you for watching.